So my advice is, get in close, see as much of this as you can. If I'm round here, you won't see it, but then you can probably imagine what I'm going to do. So at the moment, nothing is cabled in. If I'm going to cable the CD player in, which is already cabled in, then I might as well cable this in as well. And you've got a mix plan that says where to put stuff, hopefully, by this point. But you probably, in your head, are going to remember where to put stuff. So pretty much your first job is going to be to plug some stuff in. Exciting, isn't it? Okay, so I don't really need to... Yeah, good. Good. There's only 2 toms, isn't there? So you can get... Oh, Aaron pointed out that you can't use the last 2 gates unless I leave some insert cables, but I'll do that. I'm going to leave some insert. Does that make sense to anybody? Yeah. Right, I'm actually going to put my Drawmer gate on the vocal, which is going to be on group 6, because I find I can get the sound that I want quicker with that. So I'm not just going to go 1 to 4. I've put 4 a little bit further up, and put the Behringer gate a little bit further down on the keyboard group. So we've got 5 and then 6. I'm gonna hopefully be able to say to you that these lines can stay in when you arrive. But I need to check with what Jay's group's approach is. As long as it's consistent, it's fine. I mean, if they're not in, you'll have to plug them in. It's just extra work, isn't it? It's like, and it's like 16, right? 1. Right, I tell you what's not going to be plugged in, though, these effects. So let's make this fair. Make me do some work. Oh, look, they're labelled. Oh, good. So left is going to be that one. Right, my approach with this is working top to bottom. So the Roland's at the top, and then followed by the 990, followed by the SPX 1000. But I mean, you can patch these in whatever order you want, as long as it matches your label that you whack on the front of the desk, then you'll be fine. Now, while we're here as well, this whole job. So this is auxiliaries 1 to 4 that are going to send down to the monitors. And what auxiliaries that they're going to go in? What auxiliary outputs? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, not a trick question. So now, what tie lines are they going to go into? This is why I think we should probably start with the lines in. Yeah. And then how's that all going to work when you get down to the bottom? Mega. Exactly that. And this is going to be your first piece of work. Oh, grief. Glad you're taking it very seriously. We like that. So you're taking it suitably seriously. And then the Roland's going to come out of auxiliary 5, and then the 990 is going to come. I've dropped it in the desk, and now I can't find it. 990 is going to come out there. Then SPX 1000 is going to come out auxiliary 7, and they're all clicked in, and it's all good. And I've patched up the left and right. Now you do the signal path test thing, where you get one side of the CD player. Sorry, a little louder than that. And you pan it, well, you don't. You put it down the centre and it crackles because it's a bit... And at this point, the D12s are muted, but I'm going to see some signal there. Okay, I can see some signal there. Leave a little bit faded up. Put your quick walk on. And go... Leave it all muted. Leave it unmuted so you don't have to walk back over it again, because you can leave some low level on. Then and don't use part way through a tune, use some. Does that side of the PA system? Well, first of all, is that side of the PA system that side of the PA system? Is that side sorry for the cracks. Is it the same? Yeah. Right, okay. So does that side sound like that side? What? Left, right, stereo. Front of house graphic EQ at this point. So you will already need to know what your front of house graphic EQ is going to look like. As you can see, we're 5 minutes in. There's not time to do too much work in the room. We expect that to be done in pre-production, basically. Incidentally, the graphic was in all along there, so make sure that's flat to start with. But we will start with the desk flat. That'll be flat. So there's no spanners in the works. We will start flat. What's your next job then, or what's my next job since I'm doing the work here? Okay, I'm going to do desk recall up here. So, quite a bit of work. How long's desk recall going to take from photos? As quick as possible. So digital's quite helpful in this regard, as we could just so that's that. Literally, now I'm on my next image. You're doing that. Okay, good. And then you get a text part way through or something. You know what I mean? Get a bit distracted, and that's that. Right, just working on the channels. Inserts obviously want to be in straight away. Are we remembering to flip the polarity of the snare mic? These high passes are kind of, I don't think that part of the desk got reset because they already kind of look like where they need to be. They pretty much, yeah. Okay, great. EQs. Okay. Now, when you do this, you're going to have to move at this pace, because the clock is all the while ticking, and yeah, you're going to have to move quite quickly. That means that when you actually start doing your mix, maybe not everything's going to be in exactly the right place, and you might do some tweaking. That's expected. Who's seen acts early on at a festival? Are they the ones that sound the best? Yeah, but they're not necessarily the best acts, are they? So that's not a fair test. But what we mean is, it's an irony, right? When you first start doing live work, you're most likely to be working with the early doors bands, aren't you? But actually, that's really hard because, like, the desk is going from a... it's not from a running start, is it? It's from a standing start. Anyway, routine 1 to 2 and that. This is the bit where you whip out your... so you've done one of these in advance, yeah? So you rock up with one of these, and you go like that, and you go like that, and that's like that. Ooh. Right, it won't kind of... There we go. All right. Group pans in. Group pans. Now, only on things that you're sending to, because I'm going to send that to a stereo, only on things that you're sending to a stereo group do group pans want to be in. This is my bass DI, this is my bass mic, so no group pan. Keys are on group 4. This is right. This hasn't been fully reset, so I've gotten a little bit of an advantage going on here, haven't I? But okay, great. Now, I can put these up to where, this is my effects returns, put these up to where I know they need to be. That's my CD player. These need to be muted. These need to be zeroed. Waz all those up like that. I walk down there, and how long have we taken so far? And are we on task? 8 and a bit minutes. So, the approach for this is use your 3.5mm, make sure that's on. Whack these in, you've obviously done this. It's just my advice would be, do your graphics while you're there as well by just, on every one, attenuate it as you go. So then you've ticked that box without doing any extra work. Yeah, so you know those are in line. And then use your little thing and get that off. Oh, I haven't started the clock again. So, can't find it. There you go. Right, now, to do with this, so this thing here is just a loom. It's not going to be patched. It's just going to be ready to go. Then you've got to prat about finding the 1 to 4. So good luck with that one. So it's just going to be a case of, you know, you're trying to work as fast as possible, but realistically, it's going to 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to take a moment, isn't it, to find these. You just gotta do it. 3. Okay. I don't know what advice I can give you about. Maybe just It's like finding keys. Like once you've checked it, put it in your left hand or something, and keep the others in your right hand, which I've only marginally achieved. I wanted to. Sorry, they're going to come out of 9, 10, 11, 12, and then this. By the way, there's a little mark for health and safety and sensible cable routing. So just waz it the other side of the wedge. These are going to be out. Then again, if you just sort of, my advice would be ones that you've checked, put in your left hand. Right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. Cool. One more to do. Great. And I can't find 3. Okay. Go through the stack again. Yes! All right. Right. Piece of advice. I've not done it then. I've forgotten to do this. When you walk down here, leave it playing. And make sure you've faded up your auxes. Should have done that. Else, you will have to do an extra walk. Just on this up here, it's just worth me saying when I fade these up now, so let's observe up there for a second. Just do that little pause. So when you do your desk recall, so I did mine, but forgot to fade up 1 to 4 in the whole sending to monitors part of the assessment. It actually says do a monitors mix. Well, it's not really a monitors mix as such because you've not got any musicians to tell you what they want. So it's just kind of predictive starting point monitors, mostly just for the purposes of signal pathing, like did you manage to send some signal down there to do monitors from front of house, and then you're going to have to tweak it if musicians were to turn up. But these are mythical musicians. Over here, gaining up as you would do to 0. This is a post-fader mix send. Oh, 15 minutes. I just accidentally pressed reset, but add that to that. If only you could in your assessment, right? How about that? Add 15 to that. So, crack is, you want to gain it up. No signal on that. That would have to be investigated. These are post-fader mix sends. What it's going to look like is that. Because that is auxiliary 1 from there, and it only needs to go to mix 1. That's auxiliary 2, only needs to go to mix 2. Auxiliary 3, mix 3. Does that make sense? So it's just going to go, all you need to fade up is those as a diagonal across there. And make sure that these are up. And then unmute them, and then give yourself a fade up. I muted the monitor amps. Could you put them... I just turn the gain down. If you put them back to 12, just when we were troubleshooting that, is number 1 back to 12? Oh, I also, whilst I was troubleshooting, in my furious troubleshooting, I just wazzed all these out. So what's number 1 on the monitors? Where does number 1 go to? This isn't obviously part of your test unless you get into troubleshoot. Oh, sorry, no. I mean, on your actual monitor from the desk, like mix outputs from the desk. Yeah, someone said 3. I mean, it says on here, tie line 3 is your mix 1. Tie line 4 is mix 2. Now, unless you get yourself into a thing where you're having to troubleshoot, that won't be significant. But it might be, because you might... It's why it's good to know the venue quite well, because you might get into that moment where, oh, something's not quite working. Could you hold on to that? Splitter, channel 5, because it's a 58 and it doesn't have the greatest sensitivity in the world, you might want to do the plus gain button. Make sure you've seen it today, if you can't remember what that looks like. Plus 35 dB, which sounds really dramatic, but that's what it's there for. Okay, good. So establish yourself the right level over this end first. Excuse me. And make sure that you've not got crazy level. Make sure you've not got crazy level before you take the microphone over to mix 2. So mix 2 on there, 2. You should be able to get healthy green 0 dBu signal here by using gain, which it is. You have to, when I get excited it is, and fade that up to 0. And have the mix 2 pot at quarter turn. You know, something sensible, not kind of lost somewhere down here. Should be able to make that happen. Throw your mic down. Right, drop. Leg it over here. Do all your health and safety with this cable. I'm going to leave a mat there so you can throw me mat over it. That's what I'll do. Now, you don't have a great deal of time to faff around with this. So all I would say is don't wrap it round the stand and make sure it's maybe over there like that. That in there. And as I say, you know my favourite mat? I used to leave one here, but someone nicked it. Then you get cracking. Okay, so you be me over there. I'm going to be over there. You're going to be here, right? Establish yourself some decent SPL. This is, well, the amps are trimmed a little bit. You might have noticed it's at 12, so you don't sort of damage your hearing. Yeah, I mean, I think some people have them up at 3 o'clock. I think that's a little bit. But you can give me a bit more. Give me a bit more. So this is the top amp, right channel. Give me a bit. That'll do. What's that on now? Like 1 o'clock or something? Yeah. Okay, great. Right, so here's what I want. Somebody over there. So you be me, I'll be you. So I want a high-pass filter in. On the second graphic down, it needs to be a high-pass filter up to 110 hertz. Immediately. Thanks. Hey, okay. And then could you take out 200 hertz, 400 hertz, and 800 hertz, please? And this is quite loud. So I'm going to do that job for you, but you do everything else, yeah? So you can tell me what to do over there. But if you feel, actually in hindsight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that you've got that much SPL that you just, it's going to feed, whatever you chop out. There's a limit, isn't there? I backed that off too much, actually. That was a big step between there and there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or maybe you did something at the same time. Yeah. Oh, okay. We're working together. Okay, this is sounding way better. So, hey, ooh, there's still something going. Have you cut 800 hertz, please, and how much by? So, it's sounding... Okay, no, that's great. Okay, so there's something else then. Could you try, what's 600 hertz looking like?
630, exactly.
Okay, could you bring some of 630 down, please? Yeah, is that 600? And also, could you take down 125 and 80, just a little bit? Okay, stuff, words. So you give me the instructions like that, and I'll do your job, something like that. You're looking at about 3 minutes to do that. So what I would say, you want to leave yourself 5 for the walking back over there doing the mix, to take up to 20. 3 for this, so starting monitor voicing at 12 minutes through. Yeah, and your graphic's going to look a little bit like this. I mean, you could stand up here and see what you think. It still sounds a little bit... What's 200 hertz doing? Did we cut it?
Yeah, that's about 96 as well.
Could you just little bumping motions on 125? Little bumping motions. Come in and in your bookable time, do it with a colleague, needs be, and get something that sounds good. Take a photo of it. And then you can recall it. So you're going to be calling out, the people who are going to get the first here are just going to be like, yeah, 800, 400. Start at the bottom and work up, so do that the way around. So like, high pass filter, 200, 400, 800 is a good start, and then just some of the bits. But you can work from your notes. Yeah, and you want it about that SPL and stable to the point that it's, you know, can't excite it, you can't make it, even if you're not the standard. Cool. Is everybody taking a picture of this? Happy with what this should look like? Connor, did you see that? So it's mixed bus. Ooh, are they happy? 1, 2, 3, 4, diagonally down, because that's auxiliary 1, auxiliary 2, auxiliary 3, auxiliary 4 from the top desk, and that wants to go to that one, that wants to go to the middle. Stage left, drums.